I'm looking so hot today, I don't even know what's going on. There's a lot of, I just woke up going on. Anyway, today we're talking about, I'm going to talk to you about a book I just finished last night that I want to talk about because I didn't particularly love it, but I liked it. But it's going to be one of the few ones where it's a series, and I'm not going to continue the series, even though I liked the book, so I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. The book I'm going to talk about is Partials by Dan Wells. I think there's going to be 3 books. The second one is called Fragments. It's out. And I'm not going to read it. I read the first one. I thought it was pretty good. There was definite parts of it where I got so sucked in and I was like, okay, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And then there would be like 25 to 40 pages of just like bored. Like I just didn't, it took me so long to finish, which I know is a little difficult. It got rated really good on Goodreads, so I don't know if it's just me, but I definitely was at parts where I was like, okay, yeah, like, okay, like move on, move past the storyline. I like books that kind of stay in one area. It's okay to like wander off towards the end and go in a separate direction. This book took place like everywhere. It was like in the main like part where our main character lived, Kira, and then it was up like this way and they were on an adventure and a trek, and I thought the book was going that way, but then they went back to where they came from and they were there for a while and then they got thrown back again and then they went back again. So it was like a constant, like there was no solid place for them to be, and normally that doesn't bother me, but with this one it did. I felt like it didn't have a very good structure. But as far as like original concept, I really liked it. It's kind of another post-apocalyptic one, which is huge right now. So, you know, it's stuff I've read a lot, so maybe like it's good, but it's not as good as the other stuff I've read maybe. I liked the plot though. It is original in its own way. I really liked the characters. The main character, Kira, is awesome. She's badass. She's not like a whiny little girl, which I loved. The kid Marcus in it is so funny. I want to see more of him. Another character, Sam, is I liked him, but I wanted more. I wanted to understand more what was going on. I guess I could if I read the second book, but it didn't pull me in enough, which rarely happens. Usually when I start something I have to finish it. And even though I enjoyed reading Partials, I still didn't feel like that need to read a second and a third book and just get more like, okay, next plot point, okay, here it's interesting, here it's not again. You know, I want to be continuously interested in it and invested in the future. And I feel like at the end it could have just wrapped up. It didn't have to continue on to 2 more stories. These YA post-apocalyptic novels are just taking this, I mean, I hate to compare it, but like a Hunger Games, you know, formula and saying it has to be 3 books, it has to be a trilogy, it has to go this way, it has to be 2 guys and 1 girl, and there has to be a love triangle in there, and even though there doesn't have to be, you know, like there doesn't have to be anything. Like, I feel like everything, I guessed in the first like 40 pages of this book, I guessed everything that was going to happen, and I was a little off sometimes, but for the most part I was like right on. I was okay, here's a partial, she's gonna, you know, obviously have feelings for the partial, and here's Marcus, we already know that's falling apart. You know, little things, you know, I just felt like, okay, I get what's gonna happen. Something's different about Kira, I already guessed what it is. Oh, guess what? 250 pages in, I was right. Surprise. You know, I mean, like, I get that you want to make a character that's interesting and unique, but I felt like they were trying way too hard. Like, Dan Wells was trying way too hard to make everything fascinating, and he had a good storyline and a good plot, and he could have just let it flow better, I guess. But I think it's gonna be it's a popular series already. A lot of people really enjoy it. I mean, so don't hate on me because I enjoyed it as well. It was a really fun read, but yeah, there was parts where I was like, when is this gonna be over, or can we get back to the interesting parts? There was weird parts where there'd be really interesting dialogue and then like 5 pages of Kira's inner monologue about the disease she's trying to fix. I'm just like, okay, like, I get that you need to explain it, but you could do it in a more interesting way. Or in between talking to the partial or something. I mean, there's just better ways to go about it. I don't know anything about Dan Wells. Like I said, maybe he's written more books before. Maybe this is his first book. I wish him all the best with being an author. He's a good writer. He is a good storyteller. But it's one of those things that he'll probably improve with time with it. I'm interested though if you guys have read partials or any of other Dan Wells works, if he's written other stuff. Let me know. Let me know what you thought. Like, I recommend it. I mean, it's not like it's something where I'm like, don't read it. It's just, it wasn't for me, I guess, to continue with it. Liked the first one. Sometimes there's just no need for a second and a third book. You know, there really isn't. You just kind of gotta let it go. Just let it go. Yeah. So that's kind of my review of Partials. I liked it. It was interesting, good plot, good characters, but not enough to hold my interest for 2 to 3 books. I'm going to stop it at the first one and call it good. If you want to read it, read it. I finished a few more Sarah Dessen books too, because I know I talked about Sarah Dessen a little bit ago. I just finished Lock and Key, and I loved it. So that makes 3 Sarah Dessen books I've loved, and 1 I haven't. Maybe 2. I can't remember now. They all kind of blend together because they're all like in the same town with the same girls with the weird names, and they're white and... Okay, yeah, that was it. Thanks for just dealing with my appearance, and more reviews soon. Bye!